My feet are real important to me because they get me from one point to another. Actually, I've never owned a vehicle, so obviously everywhere I've been on my own 2 feet, everywhere. I don't really have possession. I don't really take, like great value into something that's probably not gonna save my life. We don't come from as you can see, most endowed people, and we weren't born with like the world at our feet.
My name's Cooper Caraway. I was born in Birmingham, Alabama, but I've lived pretty much everywhere, like 3 different middle schools, 3 different high schools, things like that. My mom and dad had problems. My mom and dad have always had problems with each other. We would move in with my dad just because we couldn't afford our own place. And then it'd get too bad with them, and then me and my mom had to move somewhere else. I was born on a Native American reservation where I lived there until 2nd grade. They're like third world countries. A lot of rundown buildings, trailer houses, horrible shape. A lot of them you can't drink the water. It's brown. There's a lot of alcoholism. I mean, there's no place for anybody to work. Indian reservations are on specific land that can't have any crops. People can't farm. Part of the whole government's extermination process, when they stopped killing them, they decided to just let them die off. Once you get off the reservation, and it's like a whole new world, It's like brings a whole new meaning to like the new world, It's like it's new for me. Native American reservations are a lot like the ghettos and the slums in the big cities. You want to get out, and you need to get out, but you don't want to leave your people behind. There's a lot of fear now of being considered a sellout or an Uncle Tom for moving to the suburbs. It's instilled in a lot of people's minds, and so if somebody moves out of the ghetto or moves off the reservation into the suburbs or is doing well for themselves, then they're seen as a sellout.
My name's Eduardo. I'm 20 years old. I'm from Laredo. What I grew up around was a lot of people, a lot of immigrants. I'm Mexican, so I grew up with a lot of people. People would stay over at the house, that needed to stay over. They didn't have a place to go. People that were moving throughout the country, they would go to my house. As far as raids go, I have seen them myself. I knew several people, actually, a whole group of people from Mount Pleasant, that were actually directly affected by that. The way that the Immigration and Customs Enforcement does what they're supposed to is something I completely disagree with. My house was broken into. It was raided, and everything. We got stuff moved around, shoved around, everything. Stuff damaged, It's more if they were looking for animals instead of humans. Like around last year, we were housing people that were, coming from over there, over here, everywhere else, People coming to this country, they don't have anywhere to lay their head. The best thing is an offering hand.
They keep doing it because of where the people are coming from. When people with brown skin started coming to America. When it started being the majority of people coming from South America and Mexico and places like that. As soon as they started coming over, they have to have this whole big process. You have to pay $6,000. You have to pass this test. That's the problem. This is deep-seated government racism. Like I started actually listening to Tupac when I was like 13. He got me thinking about all the problems. He's talking about how bad the ghettos are, the problem with crack, the problems, all these things. And that got me thinking about that. But I knew those problems. Me and him both have worked for like non-profit organizations. They're just like they basically go to rich people's houses and knock and say, hey, all right, look, these people are suffering. The kids are dying of lead and mercury poisoning, okay? The people, when it's said like that, just don't care. They do not give a shit about those people over there. Some people, you can't just talk them into it. You gotta shake them into it, And be like, listen! We tried the whole write letters to senators, and it doesn't work. We've been trying it. Let's beg for our freedom. Let's beg for our freedom. If you're begging, they don't respect you. You have to take your freedom if you want it. Those people are making us suffer. Let's go handle those people, you know. So like, we have classes with the law, but a lot of times we don't have classes with the law because of our politics. We have classes with the law because of how we look. Like the other day, we walked down the street, and like a cop pulls up. He's like, "What are you doing?" As we're walking down the street, like, "What are you doing? Put your hands against the wall." And put the hands against the wall, searches us. Then, like 3 other police cars pull up, and like people get out. You need backup for us, you know, because we're so dangerous or whatever. Wardo, tell them what happened.
Oh, apparently, cops don't like to be called dude. For all the stuff that's happened, you know, like police brutality, you know, like shootings and stuff
and
like that.
And people push that under the carpet. People like police brutality. That ended with Rodney King or whatever. No. People are still getting killed in cold blood. It happened like last year. Sean Bell on his wedding day. Got shot 53 times by the NYPD. He was not armed. He didn't have anything on him. 53 times. You know how long it takes to shoot somebody 53 times? Boom, 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 boom. 53 times. He's dead. He's gone. And his family, his kids don't have a father. His wife doesn't have a husband. Because of that. Because police feel like they can do whatever they want. And no one went to jail.
It was this mural that I saw on a wall. Huge Mexico landscape. Mountains, little houses, you know, burros, little dudes hanging out in their fields. Apparently that mural's been there forever. But when I went back just to go visit, they had painted a wall over it. They actually painted a wall over the landscape. They had little barbed wire and like brick, you know. Like I saw it when I was a little kid, and my uncle was telling me about it. Oh, it's been here forever, blah blah blah. You know, it was back when I was like 11 or something years old. And then I went back when I was like 17 or whatever, and they had painted the wall into this picture, and all you could see from the top of the wall was like the mountaintops and the sun.
It's that same plantation mindset. The whole black and brown people are not people; they're animals, and they're here to work for us. You know, that was the whole thing. That black people were animals. They bred black people so they could have stronger slaves. You know, they take the strongest man, strongest woman, breed them together. You know, and it's the same thing. As long as Mexicans are over here and working. And as long as Mexicans are tilling the fields, as long as Mexicans are picking the fruit, it's all good. But if they're sitting next to me in that cubicle, there's a problem. And it's the whole plantation mindset is still around. It's just hidden.